ball finds a hole up the middle.
Steps up, goes deep left side, receiver open, counting, touchdown Titans! Takes a nice shot outside the goal box and he will break the 0-0 tie. Fantastic shot by Kenloff Solon.
Giller makes a move, a good one, opportunity here, the Bears score! The Bears strike first.
He's at the 40, he's down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Jalen Bryan. Why not? What a beautiful run.
Maureen there, fights her off the puck, opportunity here, another sit, and a goal! Second chance effort for the Pioneers.
Put the icing on the cake, if you will, Michael. Go down and got to the outside and said good evening and good night.
Hello and good evening and welcome to this presentation of high school hockey here on TV 19 Sports. We are live at Aldrich Arena as Hill Murray plays host to the Woodbury Royals in Section 4 2A postseason play. I am Sam Erickson along with my partner Luke Howitt for what should be quite an exciting matchup. How you doing tonight, Luke?
I'm doing very well, Sam, and it certainly should be a good game tonight. Section playoffs, we got a semifinals here out of the 4AA. Hill Murray making their way here with a win Saturday, and Woodbury doing the same thing over Tartan. So should be a good game tonight.
That's right, as you mentioned, those two games. We'll take a look at that bracket, and Woodbury, actually the 6th seed in this tournament, got the upset over the 3 seed Tartan, and Hill Murray took care of business against Moundsview.
Yeah, Hill Murray, as expected, taking care of business as the 2 seed over 7 seed Moundsview 4-1 on Saturday. Woodbury, as you said, Sam, springing the upset with an impressive 3-1 victory over the 3rd seed Tartan, and that sets us up for our semifinal bracket here, Sam.
That's right. You see, Stillwater actually got the win over 5 seed White Bear Lake last night, so they're on to the final where they'll take on the winner of this one. And Stillwater and Hill Murray have a little bit of a history in this section over the past couple seasons.
Well, they certainly have. They've had some tight games in the section finals over the past couple seasons. Stillwater's already punched their ticket into the finals on Friday night, and the winner tonight between Hill Murray and Woodbury will get a meeting with a very impressive Stillwater team.
All right, now we're going to take a look at a matchup between these two teams. We're going to kind of focus here on special teams.
Yeah, you're right, Sam. If you take a look at those special teams, Woodbury has been pretty strong on the power play, 26.8%, 88.1% penalty kill. They have a 5-game win streak late in the season, so they have been playing better of late, obviously with that victory over Tartan. So they have some momentum right now. On the other side of things, Hill Murray, 19.4% on the power play, 82.6% on the penalty kill. A little bit lower numbers than what you expect out of a Pioneers team, and they've struggled of late. They had a 7-game win streak early on in the season, but lately they've kind of been up and down, Sam.
So there's a look at the special teams kind of for both teams. We're also got a couple players that we're going to want to highlight tonight on both sides of the puck.
Yeah, number 8, Luke Rinaldo forward for the Hill Murray Pioneers. 13 goals, 15 assists on the season. That includes that section game against the Moundsview Mustangs. 28 points on the season. He's got 2 power play goals and 3 shorthanded goals. He's been a real spark plug for the Pioneers.
And then for the Woodbury Royals.
Yeah, forward Ben Wallen. He's got 10 goals and 7 assists on the season, 17 points. He's been a key contributor for this Woodbury team. He's got 6 power play goals and along with a shorthanded goal under his belt. So look for him to try to get this Woodbury offense going early, Sam.
All right, so there's a look at the matchup. That should do it for our pregame show. As we said, we got Hill Murray playing host to Woodbury here at Aldrich Arena. We'll drop the puck coming up next.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello and welcome back to Aldrich Arena. We are here getting ready to watch the Hill Murray Pioneers take on the Woodbury Royals. You see the records there on your screen, and this is some playoff hockey here in Section 4, Class 2A. I am Sam Erickson with Luke Howitt, and we are getting ready to drop the puck here, aren't we, Luke?
Oh, we certainly are. As we take a look at the goalies here, Lucas Orff for the Woodbury Royals. He'll probably have his hands full tonight against what's been a traditionally strong Hill Murray offense, especially come section time. And it should be a good one as we get set for puck drop here, Sam.
That's right, Hill Murray, the reigning champs of this Section 4 in Class 2A. Looking to do it again, the 2 seed this year. And puck is dropped here in the semifinal matchup. Woodbury reaching this game with an upset win over Tartan in the quarterfinals. Early on, puck in the Pioneer zone. And around the blue line, and out with it is Marco Reifenberger, the leading scorer for this Pioneer team. He takes it up across center ice, right on front of net, but off and wide.
Yeah, just tried to connect there on maybe one too many passes, and nothing doing early on that break for the Pioneers.
And pass ahead, not looking for it. Wansmos, number 4 from the Royals. And Woodbury will change it up. Dump it into the Pioneer zone. Sean Ryan now with it for the Pioneers. Pass it back along the board, so nobody intercepted by the Royals. That's Ronnie Sweeney, number 11. He drops it back to a defender, and it's denied by the Pioneer defense. Back it goes into the Pioneer zone. Hill Murray will reset. Dangerous pass cross ice. Woodbury will keep it in. Trying to flick it ahead, looking for somebody right on front of net. That'll be knocked away. And it looks like that'll be icing. And we'll have a face-off deep into the Hill Murray zone once again.
Yeah, pretty sloppy start on both sides, Sam. You see a lot of passes not connecting, puck kind of fumbling around, and really not much going either way early on here in the first period.
A little bit of big game jitters here to start it off, I'm sure. So face off after the icing. Controlled early by Woodbury, but eventually Hill Murray will get it and take it the other way. Kyler Yo goes behind the net. He'll drop it down. And right out in front, but it'll stay in the Royal zone. They'll come back down behind the net. Brock Bremer tries to do something with it. He'll find a teammate. Long shot coming in, but denied. He said Lucas Orff starting in net for Woodbury. They've kind of split time between a couple of goalies on the season. It's like Orff is the selection here tonight.
Yeah, and he was pretty steady for the Woodbury Royals in that opening game against Tartan. He had some big saves to get them to the semis.
So Woodbury will just clear it down. That will be icing, and we'll have another face-off. So both teams kind of feeling each other out here in the early going.
Yeah, certainly not so many quality opportunities either way to this point, Sam. And like you said, maybe getting some of those early jitters. It's sections time now.
Right. Loser goes home. Blake Swanson tries to clear it out for Woodbury. Reifenberger takes it back, looking for a backhanded pass, but can't find a teammate. There's Reifenberger battling for it once again. Woodbury will take control, trying to pass it up the boards. Intercepted. Dylan Mills, number 15. Puck falls back and shot deflected high and above the net. Woodbury will take it over. Still stuck in their zone. Nice nifty move.
Pass, and pretty stick handling there from Jared Markison for the Royals.
Markison is the leading scorer on the team, 16 points, tied for the lead with number 12, Ben Wallen. Although Markison does a lot of his scoring, assisting with 5 goals, but 11 assists on the year. And nobody home for Hill Murray as 19. Casey Stom tried to make a move and center it. Woodbury will dump it down, switch up on defense. Hill Murray will take it the other way now. Luke Rinaldo drops it to Sean Ryan. Ryan can't get it back to Rinaldo. Woodbury can't clear it though. So Woodbury having to play a lot in their own zone here in the early going and not clearing it there either. So Murray will stay on the attack.
And that could be something to watch tonight, Sam. If they struggle clearing that puck, that could eventually cost them against this Pioneers team.
Woodbury had a chance to go the other way, decided to switch it up. Oh, Hill Murray now playing with a little too much in their own zone. Good fight by Wallen, can't do anything. And Hill Murray will eventually get control. Kyler Yo battling for it deep in the corner. Brock Bramer now with it. Gives it up to a Woodbury Royal. And touched ahead, Woodbury will switch it up. Woodbury really doing a lot of changes out there right now. Trying to stay fresh.
And that, you know, in a section game like this, that could certainly come into play. Which team has fresher guys and the deeper lines as it winds down towards the end of the game. So that'll be something to watch as this moves along here.
Yeah, and with this Woodbury team kind of improving as of late, you got to wonder if that was maybe something that they sort of discovered as the season went on. They have a little more depth than they had thought.
Well, it certainly helps come playoff times.
So Alex Stuckert will send it around for Woodbury and look for Jared Markison. Stuckert with it once again. Shot in, Begley directs it wide. Shot comes in again, Begley on the save, rebound, and no, doesn't go.
I'm not sure how that didn't go in, Sam. Couple great opportunities there, definitely the best either way. And we're gonna have a penalty coming up here on Woodbury.
You got that right, nice move to draw the penalty. Looks like Stuckert, Alex Stuckert, number 13, to go to the bench. He's trying to say he got him with the hip.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a hip check, but they're going to call a trip there. So Hill Murray's going to go on the power play as we take another look at that. And
yeah, Stuckert not happy with that call. Woodbury nearly scoring on the other end. Got tripped up there. I was ready to start saying goal and somehow stayed out. So we'll take a look at the chance here first. You see kind of a scrum out in the middle of the net. Number 4 for Woodbury, Alec Wansmos, had a great look, but an even better effort by the Pioneer defense. Get some sticks in there.
Yeah, I think Wansmos couldn't quite control the puck there on that, wide open net sitting there for him, and rebounds there, and his eyes probably lit up pretty quick, but unable to finish with a big chance for the Royals.
That was, and even bigger, getting a penalty now on the other end. Now, it wasn't Wansmos, but teammate Stuckert getting 2 minutes for tripping, and that'll put Hill with the man advantage. And looking kind of flat to start the game. That's something that could really help them out.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the intro, Sam. Special teams could play a big part of this game tonight, and you definitely want to take advantage of the opportunities that you get.
So Hill Murray with their top power play line on right now. Bremer had a good look from the slot, decided to give it up. Too much for Dylan Mills to handle. Mills centers. And Woodbury will have a chance to go the other way. Maybe looking short-handed, but they'll just dump it in.
Yeah, and maybe a little too much passing on that opportunity for the Pioneers. You know, Bremer has a good shot right in the slot there, and you know, you'd want to test this goalie early. I think you fired on net there.
That's right. Woodbury not unable to clear it. Hill will get a chance here. Reifenberger shoots it in, and Orff on the save. Nearly got him, but Lucas Orff able to stop that one.
Yeah, the ever dangerous Reifenberger fired that from the outside. And Orff doing a good job hanging on and not giving away any rebound there for another chance.
Reifenberger, the main talisman for this Pioneer squad. 16 goals in 30 games. Also got 14 assists, in 25 games. Another shot in on Orff, and he makes the stop.
Yeah, nice shot out from the point there off the draw by Sean Ryan. And Orff able to hang on and get another draw here as we take another peek at that opportunity.
I like it. Why not send it in? Had a good look. Almost deflected in there. So Hill will keep it still on the power play. Got about 30 seconds and counting left to go in the man advantage. Sean Ryan with it at the top, shoots. Gets past Orff, but also goes past the net.
Well, that was a close call there. A nice shot from Ryan. He just missed it wide.
Woodbury nearly getting it out, and they will send it down. And we'll have 15 seconds left to go. We'll see if Hill Murray can get at least one more shot off in this power play. So Sean Ryan will take it, send it up. That is number 8, Luke Rinaldo, one of the leading scorers here on the Hill Murray team.
Rinaldo can really motor, there's no doubt about that, and he's been a spark plug for this Pioneers team this year.
And Woodbury now full strength. Puck loose in the Royal zone, but no danger as Woodbury will take it away.
That looks like that should be an ice, and it will be a sand.
That's right. Wanted to flip it down to get the change, but didn't quite carry it across ice.
That's right. And some opportunities there for the Pioneers on that power play, but Orff up to the task on a couple of shots, and we still got a scoreless game with 7:51 left to go here.
So Hill will keep it in the zone. Looks like we're going to have another penalty. And looks like maybe a cross check here. Number 6, David Quast, is going to find himself into the penalty box, and we'll see what Woodbury can now do on the power play.
Yeah, big opportunity here for the Royals. So they'll go up a man. First power play look of the night for this Royals team, and they've been fairly strong this season on the power play.
Stuckert now out to Markuson. Markuson drops it down. Oh, nearly centered out in front for Ronnie Sweeney, but he can't connect.
Well, right idea, and they just missed the mark there. That could have been a goal in the back of the net.
So just over 7 minutes to go here in the first period. No score. Woodbury on the power play. And puck squirts down deep into the Woodbury zone. Markuson will try and get it.
Nice play. Nice play there by Reifenberger, laying out and putting his body to work, getting the puck and sending it back low. Good penalty kill here so far for the Pioneers.
That's right. Marshall Cheetah, number 18, takes a shot.
Well, that was an absolute blast there from Casey Staum. You could hear that one from up here, the board shaking.
Hill Murray definitely flexing their muscles here on the penalty kill. Woodbury being a little sloppy with the puck, unable to even keep it in the Hill Murray zone, get a shot on net. There's a big collision in the middle of the ice. Woodbury once again being sloppy with the puck. Turnover deep in the zone. Almost a shorthanded goal by the Pioneers.
Yeah, good shorthanded opportunity there for Luke Rinaldo, but nice shot block from the Royals defense. And we'll steer that one aside. Good stick work down there. I'm a little surprised he didn't call a hook on that, but play goes on here.
Shot in and saved, turned the other way by Begley. Finally, Woodbury gets a shot on goal during this power play. However, there's only 2 seconds left to go. And nearly racing on and catching the loose puck.
Yeah, Quast was looking for it coming out, but just out of his reach, and that could have been a breakaway opportunity if they had timed it up a little bit better there.
I think after the penalty, Coach Lechner wanted Quast to come straight over to the bench, and he might have had a word or two for him.
Yeah, you got it.
So another battle. Woodbury wins this one. Shot in. Begley sends it wide.
Yeah, a little shaky on that shot there, but fortunately for the Pioneers, no harm done on that rebound.
Been an interesting game so far here. A little, I don't know, hard to describe, but kind of, everyone sort of playing a little carefully.
Yeah.
You can tell, it's an elimination game here.
Well, the nerves, I'm sure, are pumping, especially early on in the game here. No score. Be interesting to see which team can break that ice first. Could be a big advantage.
I think first goal is going to play a major part in this one. We're 4.5 minutes about left to go here in the first period. Reifenberger.
Well, I'm not sure why they're blowing that for an offsides, and Pioneers are coming well across mid-ice there with possibly an opportunity.
Yeah, I thought he might have said like a hand pass, but yeah, I think you're right with the offside.
Yeah, you can see he had the delayed offsides call, but maybe he was just late getting to his whistle. It was offside, but nonetheless, they redrop it, and we're back at center ice.
That's right. Woodbury will flick it into the zone. Begley will handle it, touch it, but Woodbury will take it right on front, and Begley smothers it. What a chance for the Royals. Ben Wallen almost goes top shelf near side. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, you see that puck come back out front, and Bagley there up to the task. That's certainly his biggest save of the night, and keeps this a scoreless game. And Woodbury's had a couple strong chances in the last few minutes here, Sam.
And that fell to Ben Wallen, number 12 of Woodbury. He's actually the leading goal scorer on this Royal squad. Almost got another one there. Nice job by Begley between the pipes. So under 4 minutes now. There's Luke Ranello. He brings it in, tries a tough angle. Orff has got it.
Well, I think that might have went into the back of the net, but well after the whistle. So certainly nice forecheck and opportunity created there by Luke Ranello. You can see those wheels he's got, and gets the outside, and he fires that quick, and kind of caught Orff off guard a little bit there, I think.
Now take a look at that. Surprised him on the angle. And it looks like it kind of got through Orff, but he was able to kill it before it got into the back of the net.
Yeah, the pace certainly has picked up here in the last few minutes, Sam. We've had some opportunities, good opportunities both ways, as Bagley bats that one up into the netting.
And we'll have a face-off. So no score. Couple of good chances both sides. I'd say Woodbury maybe has the better of the chances. Couple of good looks. But we are still scoreless. We'll have a stoppage.
I think they're going to call a hand pass here, Sam. And not sure where they're going to bring this puck, but they're I'm not sure there. I can't tell what the
I'm not sure
the
if
call is there.
It looks like a player's helmet might have come up and off, and they decided to stop play to. Or maybe they had some issue with his chin strap, I think, maybe make sure it's secured.
Yeah, I think there was an equipment issue with one of the Royal players, and the ref wanted to have him go off and make sure it was working correct or tighten it up before he came back out.
Orff handles the long distance effort. They'll have to kill it, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Royal zone.
Yeah, this could be a big face-off draw here. 3 minutes to go about in the first period here, and these draws can be ever important. So see if Hill Murray's able to create some opportunities off getting that draw in the zone, offensive zone.
It's like Brock Bremer taking the face-off for the Pioneers. He'll win it. Sean Ryan sends it down quick, but can't find a teammate. Pass cross ice, deflected. Bremer chases it down. He'll dish it back.
Bremer's been very strong thus far. Pretty good forechecker, and he's created some opportunities for the Pioneers.
There's Kyler Yo in the corner, protecting the puck, trying to find a teammate. Woodbury defense will deal with that. As Cheetah lets it go, Wallen will take it, and he'll pass it up. And it'll be flicked down into the zone by Ronnie Sweeney. Bremer tries to send it up the boards, does so successfully.
And there's Bremer again with a beautiful pass.
Nice save by Orff, nearly sitting on the doorstep, and Woodbury somehow kicks it out.
Well, that may have been the Pioneers' best chance thus far. That rebound was sitting there, and
right on front now, shot on, but blocked by the Royal defense and sent out the other way, and they'll take the icing.
Very good shot block there from the Royals as Hill Murray putting on a little late first period pressure here.
I was going to say Breezy, that's number 2, Derek Breezy got the real good shot. Orff turned it the other way, but kind of left it sitting there. Lucky for Orff, Woodbury teammates were there to clear it away. Markuson tries to get it ahead, stays in the zone. Reifenberger takes some contact and gives it up. Markuson now with a big hit on Derek Breezy. Stuckert finds 19 Markuson. He carries it over the line. Shot in, but turned away by Begley. Right on front and a goal! Well, number 20, Adam Albright.
Just too many opportunities right in front of the net. Begley made the first stop. It was a nice save, but rebound came out. No one there for the defense to take care of it. And Woodbury burying the rebound to get up 1-0 here at the end of the first period, Sam.
And what a shift by 19 Jared Markuson. Really giving an effort. He's the one that centers that pass. And eventually it's finished off by Adam Albright. A couple saves in there by Begley, but he can't do everything, as eventually Woodbury just has too many looks and is able to get it past. So surprise, surprise, the Royals are on top here, 1-0.
And you kind of felt Hill Murray getting some strong chances at the end of the period. Maybe they were getting a little momentum, and the Royals certainly took that right back and find themselves in the lead here with just under a minute to go in the first.
This Woodbury team's already been dangerous here in the postseason, upsetting number 3 Tartan in the first round, and that one by Cheetah sent wide by Begley. Woodbury maybe a little misrepresented by that 6th seed that they got here going into this sectional tournament. They played very well.
They certainly have. You know, they started out the season a little rough and had some tough spots, but last month and change to go, the Royals have seemingly been a different team, Sam.
And we're under 10 seconds left to go. And it looks like Woodbury will be content to just sit on this one and get into the break with the lead. And that horn will sound. You saw the goal just a few moments ago. That was the only one of the period. Woodbury leads this one 1-0. We will break for the intermission. We'll have the second period when we return.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello and welcome back. We're getting ready for the start of the second period here in the Section 4 2A semifinal as Hill Murray is hosting the Woodbury Royals in what was a surprisingly even first period, and even more surprising is that Woodbury is on top 1-0.
Well, it certainly was surprising, Sam, and Woodbury obviously able to get the goal here as we take a look at some of the highlights from the first period there. Nice shot from out deep from Sean Ryan, but Orff for the Woodbury Royals able to snag that one. They came back. Bagley had a few big saves, but we take a look at one there. But we look at the goal here. It was just a nice play. Wansmos fired it on, and Albright was there for the rebound, Sam, putting them up 1-0.
And so impressive stuff. You saw there with the highlights, Woodbury had the better of the chances and got that goal. Interesting to see how Hill Murray will come out here to start the second period. You got to think that Coach Lechner had a few choice words, and we might see a different Pioneer squad here in the second period.
Well, I'm sure he had some words of wisdom for the troops, and you know, it wasn't. They had some good chances, Sam, but it certainly wasn't what you'd expect, especially from a Hill Murray team in the sections here. And Woodbury able to take advantage, and to their credit, getting that nice rebound, and they're up 1-0, and they got to be pretty happy after one period of play to go to that locker room with that lead.
This is a Woodbury team, you know, we have mentioned did upset Tartan, the 3 seed already in this section. Fires on Orff with the save, and they'll turn it the other way. You know, as I said, they upset Tartan, the 3 seed, but they also had some interesting results in the regular season, defeating a Cretin-Derham Hall team twice. Cretin-Derham Hall just knocked off the unanimous #1 seed in the state, Benilde St. Margaret in section. They also had good results, although there were losses against Benilde St. Margaret's, for example, lost 4-2, as well as Stillwater only losing by about 2 goals. So been a competitive team all year round. Kind of wondering how they ended up with that 6th seed, but they also were a little inconsistent, losing some games that they probably shouldn't have. Yeah,
like you said, it was kind of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing. They played a lot of really strong teams, really tough, and they got some impressive wins, and also had a few head-scratching losses. So see what team shows up, but so far it's been a very impressive showing from this Woodbury team as they get another chance on net early in this second period, Sam.
You got that right. Looked like number 10, Lucas Erickson, had a good chance at a backhand. I believe it was Erickson. There it is. Gets the puck. Bagley there, a wall, though, to deny.
Nice job by Bagley there, corralling that rebound. Saw what happened on the first goal for the Royals when they weren't able to hang on to that rebound, and certainly something he wants to take care of.
Derek Breezy tries to pass it up along the boards, unable to. Ben Wallen, number 12, gives chase with number 12, Joey Petronek of Hill Murray as well. And now Luke Rinaldo will flip it ahead for the Pioneers. Stopped up along the boards and dumped back in by Woodbury.
Well, that was a big shot block there from Breezy by the Pioneers, as I'm not sure Bagley was able to see that.
And slipping now, unfortunate for the Pioneers, look to have a nice one-on-one. But Woodbury will take it the other way. Excuse me, Luke. I was going to say that's big goal scorer number 20, Adam Albright. He's not going to win it as 2 Pioneers wrestle it away, and Hill Murray will go the other way.
That's some good physical play there by the Hill Murray defense. Looks like we're going to have an offsides here. Bring it back to center ice.
There's Albright trying to get past the defender, takes a big hit. Nice job.
I think that was Petronek. I think that was 12, and very nice hip check there. Eliminating the opportunity there from Albright, who's lone goal scorer in this game tonight. Bagley will hang on again, and we'll have a puck drop in the Woodbury offensive zone.
Woodbury once again coming out looking a strong side.
Yeah, they certainly have started this period out just the way they wanted, I imagine, Sam, and they've had the better opportunities early on in the second here, and we saw that same thing play out in the first period as they fire another one on there. Bagley there, and Bagley's had to be up to the task early on here.
That was a quick shot. Max Meyer, number 27. Meyer only was 16 games on the year, so not one of the more experienced Royals, doing a good job. Shot coming in, blocked. Out in front, scrum. And sent the other way. We'll have a stoppage. And we will have a penalty on the Pioneers as number 7, Will Sontag, will make his way to the penalty box.
It looks like they're going to call a slash here. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. There's 7 there, but got to be honest, didn't see a whole lot there.
Thought there was maybe an interference call was going to be the call. You see player go flying. That was Max Meyer, so maybe that's where the slash came.
Nevertheless, a big opportunity here early in the second for the Woodbury Royals, already leading 1-0, Sam, and not where Hail Mary wants to be right now.
And Woodbury's top line is out there. Now, these guys have seen a lot of action, so you got to wonder how that's going to impact them as the game has gone on.
They have logged a lot of minutes already.
There's Jared Markison, number 19, kind of the leader of this Royal squad, and it is offside, so a bit careless there by Woodbury on the attack.
It looked like Wallen got a little giddy and jumped ahead. And just offside's the right call, though, and it eliminates any opportunity there on the power play to get it down deep, as well as a face-off outside.
And face-off, nearly won, it is. Luke Rinaldo trying to go the other way. Orff will get it before Rinaldo can track it down, excuse me. And we've got a broken stick on the ice. Turnover again, and Rinaldo will dump it in.
Yeah, great penalty kill presence there from Luke Rinaldo. Getting that puck not once but twice and firing it back down deep to kill that clock as much as they can.
You know, we talked about some of the struggles, we'll say, on special teams for this Pioneer squad. We did cover the Hill Murray White Bear Lake game a little bit earlier in the year. I believe Hill Murray won 5-2. They scored 4 shorthanded goals in that one.
That's right, they did. Pretty darn impressive. I think that might have been a record there, but you don't see that too often. But they certainly have the talent and are capable of, creating some shorthanded opportunities with the speed they have.
I think they'd just be content to kill the penalties rather than scoring right now, although they wouldn't mind the game-tying goal. Doing a good job here so far. Woodbury not getting many shots off. We've got 20 seconds left to go in that power play. And it'll go deep into Woodbury's zone. And Orff will give it off to a teammate.
Maybe one last push here for Woodbury. Just under 10 seconds now on that man advantage for the Royals, but just not able to really get anything going on that opportunity, Sam.
Well, Logan Danielson will just dump it in, and Pioneers will be on full strength as Sontag makes his way to the bench. Danielson turns it over, dangerous. Hill Murray in and a goal! Weston Neubauer.
And you could see that one developing, Sam. He got around that D at 2-on-1, and he had a nice angle to fire it. He put it in the back of the twine, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Hill Murray Pioneers. Take another peek.
Neubauer. Woodbury thought they were playing the angles, but Neubauer found a little bit of room in the back of the net, and he converts.
And he sent that high glove side, beats Orff, and we got a tie game here with just over 12 minutes to go in the second period.
And if you're Woodbury, that's big. Trying to pull an upset here. You can't let up goals like that.
There's a turnover in the neutral zone, and Pioneers, like we said, they have that speed, and they're able to make opportunities happen, and they certainly took advantage there.
Begley sends it around. Joey Bowman can't handle it, stays in. Stucker dumps it in for Woodbury. And now the Pioneers will go the other way. Nothing doing there as Stucker tries to get it out. And big check along the far side boards. Couple of legs get tangled up, no call. Oh, we are going to have a call.
Yeah, the back official got it, and I think they absolutely had to. Reifenberger with a great hit, and then he got taken down by the legs, and looks like Woodbury is going to be on the kill, the penalty kill as they're going to go to the box as we take another look at the penalty there. And
it's interesting, referee standing right above the play didn't call, but that back official was the one who decided to blow the whistle.
Interference there on Spencer Nelson for the Royals.
And it's shot in, save Orff. Reifenberger with a good look.
Reifenberger firing that on. Orff up to the task.
Reifenberger again with it. He'll pass. Back. Blocked in front by the Woodbury defense. Reifenberger down to Dylan Mills. Mills hesitates, gets it poked away. Mills with it, tries to carry it, can't go anywhere. Stuckert sends it around the boards, but not out. Casey Stom. There's Austin Peterson, tries to touch it ahead to Mills. Mills trips. He's battling with Cheetah of the Woodbury Royals. Reifenberger looks to pass. Gets it through to 19, Casey Stom. Deflected, but Orff sends it wide. The Pioneers really looking dangerous now. 45 seconds left to go on the power play.
Well, that was a big play by the Woodbury defense to tip that puck and get out of the zone. This Hill was starting to work it around.
They'll get a real quick switch. That was playing with fire as they got a nice look. Pioneers, Orff with the glove save though.
Yeah, you said it, trying to get that quick change. The Pioneers turning it right around using that speed of theirs and firing one outside, but pretty harmless, and Orff able to hang on, and big face-off win there by Woodbury will send it all the way down.
Absolutely, and kind of looked like on that goal for Hill Murray, you know, they were on the penalty kill, and the player that came out of the box, it seemed like Woodbury didn't handle that switch up very well. A little out of sorts on defense. Kind of led to that 2-on-1 opportunity for Hill Murray.
Yeah,
they were able to put it in.
They certainly were. They got caught, and Hill Murray able to take full advantage of it.
So Orff will smother it after pinballs a little bit right on his crease.
Yeah, you saw it come through there, Sam. Like you said, it kind of pinballed, but no harm done, and no one there to put it in the back of the net or get anything on it by the Pioneers. Orff's done a pretty good job tonight holding on to those rebounds.
So Woodbury now full strength after the penalty is over. Luke Rinaldo dancing with it a little bit. Goes by one skater, gets it on net, but it's deflected away. Number 14 right on the doorstep. That's Ben Helgeson.
Well, some nifty stick work there, but just not able to get it through. And Woodbury defense able to knock it away before any shot on net.
Eric Breezy slips with it in the corner, but Rinaldo will pick up the loose puck, make a move, go around, dish it back out. Sean Ryan lets it go, and it deflects in!
Well, I'm not sure what that hit, but Orff had no clue where it was, and you saw that puck kick up in the air. Goalie was looking for it, and before he knew anything, it's in the back of the net.
You got that right, Luke. I thought that certainly deflected wide, but it sails into the back of the net. We'll try and get a better look at it here. Sean Ryan shooting it in, and it just hit that crowd out in front of net.
Yeah, just butterflied over the goalie's shoulder. It wasn't much on it, but when you can't see, that's when it's dangerous. And good job creating some havoc in front of the net. And Orff not able to see that one, and the Pioneers have stormed back here with 2 goals in the first half of the second period, Sam.
I thought we might see a little bit of a different Hill Murray Pioneers team here in the second period. Certainly getting on the scoreboard like they wanted to. Now leading it 2-1. I don't know if you saw right there, nice little catch in the crowd off the puck that deflected up and over the boards.
Fans getting in on the action there. Good thing they're paying attention, huh?
That's right. Always a good crowd here at Aldrich. Good representation on both sides here tonight for this sectional playoff.
It is a packed house at Aldrich tonight, Sam, and I wouldn't expect much different for hockey sections in the state of Minnesota. We love it.
Great time of year. Of course, looking forward to the state tournament down at the XL in a couple of weeks.
There's already been some big upsets in the sections, Sam. A lot of top seeds we've seen go down, so.
Oh, Kyler Yo trying to do a little too much, tried to give it off there at the last second, but couldn't find anyone. You mentioned a couple teams, #1 seeds dropping like flies here in the state of Minnesota. Hill Murray's got to be looking at that and saying, get us into that tournament, and maybe we can do a few things and bring home a state title.
That's right, and they still got a tough task ahead. Obviously, they got to get by the Royals tonight and punch them a ticket to a big showdown Friday night with the Stillwater Ponies, who have had a fantastic season.
I mentioned a little bit earlier, Benilde St. Margaret, the #1 seed in 2A, has been knocked out already, leaving Stillwater as the highest remaining seed in the state. And that is unfortunately who the winner of this game will have to meet for the section championship.
Yeah, tall task ahead for either one of these teams here.
But with it being such an interesting year, you got to think that everyone likes their chances. And a big hit there. I think that's number 6, David Quast on the ice. He's a little shaken up, but looks like he'll be all right.
Oh, that was a massive, massive hit there in Quast. We take another look at the chance from Yo and tried to get it over to Bremer, but just couldn't quite connect.
There's the hit.
He couldn't really see what happened there. He looked like he took a shot to the head. And I don't know if it was maybe part of the stick or something, but certainly did not look like it was anything on purpose. Just so happened. And here's an opportunity the other way for the Pioneers.
And somehow Orff keeps that out of the net. They're still playing with it, no whistle. Reifenberger found it. He can't put it in. Now he'll shoot and he goes!
Wow, just too much pressure. That save by Orff was unbelievable on the 3-on-1 from the Pioneers. Puck still scrambling around in front of the net, still doesn't go, but Reifenberger able to pull it back out, shelf it, find that twine, and it's 3-1 Pioneers, Sam.
And what a smart choice to take it out away from the crease.
Certainly was here. That was an onslaught from the Pioneers, and how Orff managed to make that original save, I'm not sure, but unbelievable. But there it was. Reifenberger funneling it back out and beating him glove side to find the twine. And Reifenberger's heating up for the Pioneers.
Looked like Orff even made a second save on Reifenberger, kind of right on the doorstep before he took it out and finally got it past him.
Yeah, that was an onslaught from the Pioneers. You couldn't quite tell what was going on there, but they might have had 4 or 5 chances before finally finding the twine there.
And that'll be offsides for the Royals. So 3-1 now as Hill Murray has really changed things up here second period. 6:43 left to go in period 2.
Well, Pioneers have certainly came out after the first couple minutes of this period. You know, Woodbury was generating some more good chances, but the light switch may have turned on for the Pioneers here.
Seemed like they just had to get past Orff once, and things will start falling their way as the goals are starting to flood.
They've certainly had much better chances in the second period here, and it's certainly reflective in the score. Pioneers now up 3-1 after trailing after one by a goal. We'll see what Woodbury's got here to jump back in, and a goal before the end of the period would certainly spark that for them.
Falls of Marshall Cheetah was deflected wide.
Looks like we'll have a high stick here, Sam, and we'll bring it back into the Woodbury defensive zone. Not where they want to be right now.
No, sir. Lucas Orff done a pretty nice job here tonight. Luke Rinaldo with a quick turn and fire.
Yeah, that was a dangerous shot from far outside there, but with the way they've been generating those screens, you know, that's what happens sometimes. But Orff able to cleanly see that one, catch it in his glove there.
That's rattled up along the boards and into the Hill Murray zone. And Woodbury will try and keep it there, excuse me. They'll be on sides. As Wallen tries to do something with it, he'll give it up. Weston Neubauer fires it in, directed wide, Lucas Orff.
Neubauer already's got one. He's looking for more there. Again, a shot from the outside, but kind of used the defender as a screen, and good opportunity there, but steered aside by Orff.
Ronnie Sweeney will dump it in for the Royals. They'll switch things up. Pioneers will come racing the other way.
And the Pioneers certainly seem to have a little more pep in their step this period here, Sam.
There's the goal scorer for Woodbury, Adam Albright. He gets spun around. It's kept in. Oh, it is not kept in.
Oh, that was awfully close.
Yeah.
Looked like it was still just hanging on the edge of that blue line, but
Blake Swanson trying his best to keep it in. Referee says it did leave the zone. So we'll have a face-off just outside. And it was hard to tell from this angle.
I mean, it's right at the edge there. You really can't tell on that look, but it was awfully close, and I'll go with the ref. He's got a better view than I do, and offside's called there on the Royals.
Tyler Yo now across ice to Bremer, and that will be offsides.
Well, another close one there, so we'll call it even on those two calls. And
that's right. Ken Boblitz just unable to hold up.
Yeah, looked like the Pioneers might have had something cooking there, but just in ahead of the play. You saw Boblitz try to drag that foot, but couldn't quite do it.
Face-off won by Woodbury. Shot coming in high and wide.
Well, that certainly was dangerous, but deflected up high and over the net.
Kyler Yo making some moves in the corner. He gets crunched by a couple Royal defenders. Brock Bramer with it now. Gets it poked away.
They played everybody in the conference. They beat Holy Family. They're number 3. No, they beat them. When?
Bramer with it now. Turn dishes it out. Shot from defense.
They beat them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was Quast. I see him back on the ice. He's doing all right as the puck flies into the stands there.
Quast with a nice fire there, just went high above the net. So 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here, period number 2. Hillbury with the 3-1 advantage.
Yeah, you see Coach Lechner talking to the players, telling them they got to keep that puck down. You know, try to generate some rebounds. And obviously that last shift, we saw a couple pucks go pretty high, so urging his players to keep those puck down and storm the net for those rebounds. And thinks they might get a few more in the back of that net if they do that.
Stuckert leaves it for teammate Marshall Cheetah. Cheetah tries to push it ahead, but Woodbury turns it over. And Dylan Mills gets the turnover right on front of net. He'll keep control of it. And through a crowd. Puck will not reach the net. Woodbury will try and take it the other way. And big bump as Ben Wallen takes a shot.
Yeah, that was a beautiful hit there from Sean Ryan, a senior for the Pioneers. He really laid the proverbial wood. Let's hope the Woodbury player is all right, but it was a very nice clean check from Sean Ryan.
So just over 3 minutes. We'll have a face-off just outside the Woodbury zone. Royals will win it. as Stuckert and Marshall Cheetah pass it from circle to circle.
This has been a pretty physical game to this point, Sam. I'm not sure that I quite expected that out of these two teams, but a lot of big hits in this one.
And Begwood Glove, the soft effort. Yeah, it looks like that kind of picked up a little bit here, second period, I would say. Teams kind of feeling each other out in the first. Didn't get too physical, but now they've kind of settled in. And
yeah, absolutely right. As the game's gone on, there's been some more physicality. Both teams giving it all they got. They know that if they don't end up with more goals than the other team tonight, they're done for the season. So especially those seniors, you know, they want this bad. It's a big deal here in Minnesota, and both teams giving it their all in a 3-1 game right now for the Pioneers.
Yeah, definitely a big deal to make it to that state tourney. And I've been really impressed with Hill Murray's depth.
Yeah, and that might be something that's coming into play as well. We touched on it in that first period, Sam. As the games go on, you might see which teams have more depth. And in this second period, several lines for the Pioneers have generated some good opportunities and some goals.
That's right. I'm just impressed with their ability, their skating from top to bottom. Obviously a testament to the coaching staff and the program there at Hill Murray. Produces a contender year after year.
Well, certainly Lechner's been around for a while. He's seen it all, and you know, they are certainly very well coached, and usually when it comes playoff time, they're ready to go.
And they're usually there. And it looks like they're going to be storming the other way here in this one, as Yo tries to center and somehow poked up and over the net. Boblitz unable to convert. Nice pass though, number 9, Kyler Yo.
Kyler Yo with a great pass, and looked like it just kind of jumped up on Baublitz there, and rather than just being able to tap it home, it kind of jumped up and went over the net there, fortunately for the Woodbury Royals. Otherwise they'd be looking at a 4-1 deficit.
Remmer tries to center it to Mills. Sean Ryan gets it. Long shot, and Mills redirect! And a goal!
Wow. Beautiful puck movement there. And you see it come down low, and Mills with just a fantastic tip. 4-1 Pioneers, Sam.
Yeah, this team is getting hot. I talked about their skill level from top to bottom. Let's not forget their skill level at the very top. Dylan Mills showing why he is one of the top players on this Pioneer squad. So I believe it was 15 who got that deflection in front of net.
That's right. It was Sean Ryan back at the defensive point. He's been firing them on net all night. He put that one on, and the sophomore Mills with a beauty tip.
That was
and it's
one of the
4-1
goals you'll see.
That was some excellent puck movement, and here they come again.
And they're just getting deep in that zone, being able to cross right out in front of net.
And it looks like they're going to get Dylan Mills, the recent goal scorer, for a cross check here, and an opportunity with just over a minute to go in the second period here for the Royals to get back in this one, Sam.
The youngsters showing off some ability and maybe a little bit of inexperience there with the unforced penalty, but did enough to put his team up 4-1. So Hill Murray a little more comfortable as this game keeps going on.
Yeah, whatever Lechner said to him after that first period, it's worked, because they've came out and they've looked like a different team. They've been all over the place, and they are flying around, and
yeah, really
just certainly paid off for them. Yeah, absolutely.
Markison fires, and Bagley able to stop that one. Jared Markison doing a lot of good things out there for Woodbury.
Yeah, good job there by Bagley to hang on to that rebound.
Markison tries to touch it over to Marshall Cheetah, intercepted by Luke Ranallo. Luke Ranallo trying to take on 2 Royal defenders. And Brock Bremer turns and fires up and high. I think that maybe was deflected over the net.
And Ranallo, he has just been a beast on the penalty kill tonight, Sam. We've seen him all over the place here, and almost setting up another shorthanded burial there.
Almost forgetting that Woodbury's on the power play. So 20 seconds left to go here, period 2. Bremer takes a bump. He'll give it up. Markuson just can't get enough on it. And Hill Murray will send it down the other way. 10 seconds left to go.
Well, the Royals had a right idea there. Markuson tried to one-time that. He couldn't quite catch up to the pass, and that bobbled wide, and that'll do it for the second period.
You said it. That's it for period number 2. A completely different story in that second period for the Hill Murray Pioneers. They net 4 goals, and they lead it 4-1. We'll break for the second period intermission and have that third period for you when we return.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back. The players are just hitting the ice as we're getting ready for the start of the third period here in the section semifinal. And that, of course, is section 4 in 2A. We've got some highlights here from that second period where Hill Murray really took control.
Yeah, it certainly looked like more of the same early on. Woodbury had an opportunity there, you saw. But then Hill obviously got a lot more physical, and both sides got a little more after each other. But Hill Murray able to open it up in a big way as Weston Neubauer started the party right there. And we got a 1-1 game there on that beautiful shot on the odd man opportunity. Then just a very odd bounce on that second goal there, Sam. You couldn't really tell what happened, and sure enough, here we take a look at the Pioneers just really battling at that net. And to top it off there, a beauty. Sean Ryan gets that through, and Dylan Mills with just a fantastic tip. And the Pioneers looking at a 4-1 lead right now going into the third. And that period's exactly what Lechner was looking for, I'd imagine, Sam.
Yeah, some nice stick control from number 15 on that one.
Yeah, Mills had a very good game thus far. He's got a goal and an assist to this point. And they'll have to kill off his penalty to open this third stanza.
Right, forgot Mills is in the penalty box. I was going to say, I wonder where he's at right now, but you see him cross ice there. He is in the box for just over about 30 more seconds. And Woodbury looking to see if they can get a goal, try and climb their way back into this one, trailing 4-1.
Well, that would certainly be a big jump start to this third period for the Royals. They want to get back into it. They're going to want to try to get one early on Bagley.
Stuckert sends one down to the corner. They chase the referee out of there. And it looks like Ronnie Sweeney for the Royals has it now. He'll leave it for Marshall Cheetah. Sean Ryan D'ing him up. Sweeney nowhere to go with it. And Markuson in on net, just wide on the near side.
Good shot from Markuson there, though, but just wide.
Wallen drops it for Sweeney. Save Begley.
Wow. Point blank in the slot. Sweeney coming in, and you saw Bagley come way out, cut down that angle, and when we take another look, he comes way out and he makes a nice stop. You know, not much for Sweeney to shoot at there with how far Bagley came out.
Yeah, nice job by Begley, as you said, coming out of the crease, taking away any bit of angle that Sweeney could have. And Sweeney, one of the players that the Royals would won out there, tied for the team lead in goals with 9.
Yeah, he's been one of their big goal scorers this year. They're going to have to lean on him big time in this third period. They've came out and had some good chances here, but Real nice defensive play there by Ronaldo as that puck came out front. And he wasn't there to lift up the stick. That might have been a nice goal there for the Royals.
Yeah, Max Meyer trying to do a little wrap around Pioneer defense up to the task. A couple players battling with it behind the Woodbury net. And Ronaldo can't find it at his feet. And Royals will try and go the other way. Puck out at center ice, gets flicked into the zone, and both teams will change it up. Well, Alex Stuckert now sends it up, tipped. And sent around the boards. Sent back in now. Quast for Hill Murray. Trying to do something with it as the Pioneers look to get control and set up their offense. Kyler Yo making some moves.
He's had some fancy hands tonight, just hasn't quite been able to finish, but definitely has set up some great opportunities for the Pioneers.
Also been impressed with number 20 there, Brock Bremer. He's kind of been all over the place. Not the biggest guy on the ice, but a lot of hustle and finds himself in a lot of good spots because of that.
Well, he's certainly been a spark plug for this Pioneers team. Like you said, Sam, he's been all over the place.
See him track back on D there.
Yeah, he's been all over all night, and certainly a guy the Pioneers rely on to get things cooking.
So Markuson carries it over for the Royals. He tries to center it to Wansmos. That'll be a turnover, and Hill Murray will head the other way.
Very strong defensive play there by the Pioneers. That was Casey Staum, and he was able to read that pass and intercept it before any damage was done.
Marshall Cheetah, captain here of the Woodbury Royals. Shot in. Pad save Begley. Sean Ryan carrying it now for the Pioneers. He'll flick it, and that'll go up and over the boards, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, some good chances for the Royals to start this period, Sam, but a couple big stops from Bagley, and we're still looking at 4-1, and obviously that clock becomes an enemy for the Royals if they don't get something into the back of that net soon.
And you may see on your screen there, it says power play. Woodbury not on the power play. Both teams even strength. There we go. And it's now, it continues 4-1 as we're under 13 minutes left to go here in this semifinal matchup. Stillwater winning the other final yesterday over White Bear Lake. I believe that was 4-1. Regardless, Stillwater books their ticket into that championship game. The number 2 rated team in state. No surprise there, really.
Well, Stillwater have been great all year, as you see Dylan Mills getting in on the action again after the stop. He's, no damage done. He's hit into the Orf by his own teammate, but Mills is a very physical presence out there, and he's certainly made an impact in this one.
Marshall Cheetah bumping Mills onto Orf, and I don't think Lucas Orf needed that.
No, you never like that when you're the goalie, and it's quick to react when you see another color jersey landed on you, but then you realize your own player, knocked him into you. And you don't really appreciate that too much. Fortunately, no harm done.
So the puck sails down to the other end. It will be icing, and we'll have a face-off. Grant Benedict, number 24, will go against Luke Rinaldo, and Benedict wins the face-off. That's 32 tree marks. And puck sails into the benches, and we'll have a face-off.
It's going to come back down into the Hill Murray defensive zone. Be a big face-off here for Woodbury if they can't create some kind of opportunity out of this here, Sam.
Woodbury wins a faceoff again. Long shot in, deflected. Goes wide of Begley's net. And shot in again and gloved by number 1. So if you're just joining us, Hill Murray starting off a little bit slow, trailed 1-0 after 1. Turned things around in the second period, picking up 4 goals, and that is why we have the 4-1 score right now with 12:03 left to go in the game. Hill Murray wins the faceoff. And Quast goes down. No call. Yes, there is a call. Delayed penalty.
Oh, interesting. It looks like they're calling maybe a rough on that, or I think they're going to go with a roughing call. But I saw Quast kind of get tripped up. I thought maybe there was a tripping call coming, but we're going to have a penalty on the Woodbury Royals as we see if we can't get a better look at it. Yeah, you seen him go up high there. Obviously, that was away. That was a different Hill Murray player who took the hit. But
and I think if you saw on that replay, it looked like 27 was the one on Woodbury who actually committed the offense. And the refs have put 20, Adam Albright, into the penalty box. No wonder Albright looks a little confused, kind of still standing up over the box, motioning with his arms. What's going on?
Yeah, I think that was Max Meyer who, that certainly looked like a penalty. He came up high on the hit.
Yeah.
But if you're Albright, yeah, I don't blame the guy,
Wallen almost with the shorthanded goal. Not sure if we'll have a penalty. The net came off. And I think we're just going to have a face-off, yeah, because the goal came loose.
I think that's it, Sam, as we take another peek here coming in. And great opportunity. He kind of got hooked up there. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't call that, but
Austin Peterson bringing the physicality, something that Hill Murray was missing in that first period, but Sense has it really brung it here in the last 2 periods.
Hill Murray, that second period, that really got things cooking for him, and certainly don't want to look back at this time at all.
So Hill Murray on the power play. I don't believe we've had a power play goal here yet tonight, although both teams have had a share of chances. Shot in, Orff makes the save and protects his crease.
Nice stop there by Orff, you said it. So pretty dire time for Woodbury. They don't want to be giving up this goal here, but the Pioneers are certainly going to be controlling the puck, you'd imagine, on the power play, as you saw Orff hang on there from the outside shot from the Pioneers. And certainly a big opportunity for the Pioneers to start putting that proverbial nail in the coffin.
And you see Adam Albright still over in the penalty box, hasn't sat down yet. Not sure he's too familiar with that territory. And if you didn't see, I think he was wrongfully penalized. Not that there was an offense, but he was the wrong player. Referee has got number 20 instead of 27, who we're thinking was the one who actually committed the offense.
Yeah, and the funny thing, Sam, is I'm not sure if he was on the ice when that happened or not. Maybe the ref just saw 20 of some variety, and
I think you're right. Yeah, Albright was very confused going over to that penalty box. He's got 13 seconds though left to go in there, whether he did it or not. And Woodbury will send it back down to the Pioneer zone.
That should just about do it for the power play, and much needed kill for the Royals. And now they got to get to work as Albright skates off the ice. He's still confused, I think.
And tipped up. That will be an ice.
Yeah, tipped up, but not across mid-ice, and it's going to come back. Big face-off draw here for the Royals. They're going to need to start making that push, Sam. Just under 10 minutes to go and trailing 3.
It was going to be a tough task at the start of the night. It's really going to be tough from here on out. Really impressed with Woodbury in the opening period and a half. But once Hill Murray got their first goal, they really started flooding.
Yeah, Hill Murray, I think, just kind of bombarded them in that second period. And that was kind of, you called it before the start of that period, Sam, as you kind of expected to see a different Hill Murray team in that second period. And after surviving a few early opportunities from the Royals, the Pioneers really poured it on. They've been skating well ever since that point. 4 goals in that second period.
Nice effort there. I'm sure Coach Lechner wants to see that every period. At least 4 goals.
Certainly helps the outcome when you can put up 4 goals in a period.
Markuson does a little battle with a couple Pioneer defenders. Puck squirts out of the zone, but Stuckert there to keep it for the Woodbury Royals. And Begley will smother the harmless effort, and we'll have another face-off.
Bagley's done a good job hanging on to the puck in this third period here. And we talked about it earlier. He's been coming out, challenged the angles, and doing a good job with those rebounds and limited any extra opportunities. That's how Woodbury scored their lone goal. So we certainly don't want to give them any more opportunities than what they already may have.
Oh, right out in front, Kyler Yo just wide.
No, he just can't buy one. It's not for lack of opportunity, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's really giving a good effort out there, number 9.
And Brock Bremer will pick that up. We talked about him. He's been a fire plug for this Pioneers team.
Shot in, stopped in traffic. Now pass back again, drop down.
Nice job by Sontag there to keep that puck in the zone.
Ben Wallen giving chase for the Royals. And the Royals will take the icing to get a switch. And you can see some winded Woodbury Royals out there. Some of these guys have been having to put out quite an effort. They are struggling to get over the boards. 13th Stuckert, he has had a night. 7:48 left to go in this one. Neubauer takes it off the faceoff. Nearly gets it right back out in front.
And the Pioneers doing a real nice job of maintaining puck control in the offensive zone in the last couple of minutes. It's a big hit laid on there. I believe that was Woodbury defenseman 24 there. A nice hit, Grant Benedict. He's showing some physicality there.
Staum passes ahead to Weston Neubauer, who got the first goal for the Pioneers here in the second period. Tiefert carries it. Woodbury stays on, but then gives up the puck.
I think kind of like we touched on earlier, Sam, is that depth I think may have started coming into play a bit here, and Hill Murray certainly has more depth, more lines, more speed, and kind of wearing out that Woodbury Royals team.
Max Meyer tries to push it ahead, but Staum will collect for Hill Murray. You had to wonder if Hill Murray was thinking ahead a little bit with Stillwater getting that result last night. Starting off this one, they were kind of looking past this Woodbury team towards that final, which they know will be a real big game. And looking like that is what's probably going to be happening here, barring some kind of miracle from the Woodbury Royals.
Well, assuming Pioneers do hang on here in the last 6 minutes, it's going to set up for a Friday evening showdown with the Stillwater Ponies, who, if my memory serves me correct, Sam, they've only lost a couple times this year, and they are a very strong team. They've been together for a couple of years now. They're well coached, and they are certainly maybe not even the favorite for the section, but they could be a state favorite as well, depending on how things shake out.
Absolutely. According to those state rankings, and with Benilde being knocked out, Stillwater is that highest remaining seed in 2A. Now, refresh my memory if I'm not correct, but Hill Murray took out Stillwater in the section final last year to earn a spot in that state tournament.
That is correct, Sam. And
so a little bit of recent history between these two teams, and Stillwater and Hill Murray always near the top. White Bear Lake a lot of times in the mix in this section 4. This section 4, both in the Class A and especially 2A, such a great section year in and year out.
Yeah, there is a lot of talent in this section, and Hill Murray's been there. They certainly have the experience under Lechner. Stillwater's sure chomping at the bit to get to that state tournament, and see if they can't do some damage. But Friday should be a heck of a game if that's how it does turn out.
I remember Stillwater having a memorable semifinal victory last year over White Bear Lake in a couple overtimes. If memory serves me correct once again.
That's correct. That was a heck of a
rebound out. That's a goal.
Oh, well, Woodbury is still right in this here. We got just under 5 minutes to go, Sam, so plenty of time. And, you know, just like their first goal, that's a rebound. And I think Bagley would probably want that rebound back. He kind of nonchalantly squirted it over to his right. I'm not sure if maybe he didn't see the Woodbury player there, but that's an easy goal. You're going to make that one 10 out of 10 times. And for the Royals, nice goal, 4-2 here. Like you said, Sam, this one is certainly not over.
Yeah, must have thought that it was a Hill Murray defender as he just kind of knocked it right into the pass of Choparov.
Yeah, Choparov buried that. And Pioneers come back with an opportunity of their own, but steered aside.
Nice moment for the one of the captains here, the Royal squad, getting that goal. Choparov making it 4-2.
Well, it could have a break for the Pioneers here, Sam.
I was going to say, I tell you what, it certainly ignited the Pioneers back to finish this one out.
You can almost see that gear kick back in there. They're all over him again. And 4 minutes to go. I'm sure they can sense how close this final is, and they want to get there.
You know, and I got a chance to interview Coach Lechner earlier on in the season, and one of his concerns was his team's ability to finish out a game and stay with it all 3 periods. And you see a little bit of that there. I mean, they do have had the comfortable 4-1 lead, but certainly led up quite a bit and pretty much let in a goal that really didn't need to happen or shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes you don't like to see that. You know, Hill Murray really turned it on in that second period there, but you know, like you said, maybe that first period, maybe they're already thinking about Friday. Who knows? But that's certainly a possibility. And against stronger teams, certainly Stillwater, you're going to need to come and play the entire 3 periods if you're going to get past them.
So 4-2, 3.5 minutes left to go. And you got to wonder if Woodbury's thinking about pulling a goalie here pretty soon. Elimination game here, of course, in the section playoffs. So pull out all the stops, do what you can to win.
Yeah, it's getting down to the wire here, Sam. Just over 3 minutes to go, and you got to imagine they're going to be looking to pull that goalie somewhat soon here. That one comes way up.
That play. Let's hopefully we can get another look at that. Looked like, I think that was Sean Ryan was kind of getting taken out. Somebody behind him, and as he was falling, decided to flick the puck up, and I think it went kind of up and over his head.
Well, some lucky fan caught that one, I think.
Yeah, I think somebody didn't think that they were ever going to get a puck. You see Ryan kind of starting to stumble and just lifts the puck. And you can't really see, but yeah, it goes way up over the boards and well into the crowd, about 10 rows deep.
Yeah,
so
I think he got the puck stuck between the boards and his stick, and he had a pretty good grip on it and kind of slingshotted it up.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the fans were paying attention, so no one got knocked out or anything. But
I don't think
you
I've
don't
ever really
see,
quite seen anything
yeah,
like that.
you don't see that much. I can't say I have either, Sam.
Aaron pass there from Markuson, so Woodbury will have to reset. Things could really get interesting here if Woodbury could net a goal in the next 30 seconds or so. However, Luke Rinaldo is going to see to that won't happen as he tries to carry it away, but it's turned over.
And Rinaldo, just a very smart player. We've seen it on the penalty kill. He's been exceptional, and seems like he's always in the right spot to get that puck down deep when they need him to.
I thought he was going to venture off sides there. Wasn't sure if he saw his man up there, but like he said, very smart, held it up. Kept the puck in play. Puck now out of play. We'll have a face-off.
You got to wonder if Woodbury gets it into the offensive zone and controls. I think you got to watch for Orff to head to the net, or excuse me, head to the bench and get that extra skater out there.
They're trying to communicate with him. Didn't really see anything going on. Yeah, the Royals have had a tough time though keeping it in the Hill Murray zone. So maybe one of the reasons coach having reservations about pulling Orff.
Yeah, certainly that fine line. Do you want to pull him? And But I think at this juncture, what do you got to lose? Season's on the line. And you got to do something to generate some offense. But here come the Pioneers with a 2-on-1 possibility.
Dylan Mills stops it, tries to do a backhand pass after a nice 180. The Royals will take it, and we'll keep an eye on Orff. Marshall Cheetah drops. Shot in, rebound right out in front. Can't do anything with it, still out there. And whistle blows.
We're going to have a penalty coming up here, Sam.
And boy.
Oh, another rebound opportunity there. And
I was just going to say, Jake Begley leaving another one. And Woodbury really could have capitalized here.
Looks like we're going to have a penalty, though, so power play opportunity.
And now,
that's going to be.
You got to think, Orff.
Yeah, I certainly would think if I'm the coach, I pull them right now. You know, maybe they're waiting to see what happens on the draw, but you know, I think you call a timeout, get something up on the chalkboard with the players, and you got a two-man advantage here. So.
Well, you said it, Luke. They did take a timeout.
And remember to check out GTN 16, Law Enforcement Appreciation. You can contact Mary Klein at 651-747-3812, or you can email her, mary@gtn.org. Check it out on facebook.com/Lake Area Beat.
And that, of course, that Law Enforcement Appreciation is just a way for everyone to give back to the wonderful men and women of law enforcement. The Government Television Network, our on-location sister station, is producing a video of thanks, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you have any interest in getting involved, contact Mary Klein with that contact information there.
Good stuff. We appreciate all that they do, Sam. And
that's right, keeping us safe here in the booth here tonight, as well as all the fans in the stands.
That's right. Give them credit where it's due, you know.
Look at those rowdy people.
Yeah, it's been out of control here, so fortunately we got them here.
Things have got a little more interesting here in the dying moments of this one, and Lucas Orff is now on the bench, so it'll be a 6-on-4 advantage for the Woodbury Royals. Of course, that empty net, though.
A critical face-off and won by the Royals.
Marshall Cheetah fires it, deflected, way up and out, and we'll do it again.
Nice shot block there. Guess who? Ronaldo again. He seems to be the penalty kill specialist for the Pioneers, and another block shot there.
You gotta like that. Got Ronaldo and Brock Bremer out there. Another just hustler. I like the idea by Lechner. Just get his guys that are willing to kind of do the little things, the dirty work, to see this one out.
Yeah, when they're out there, they certainly can motor. And here comes Ronaldo, and he can motor.
Now Cheetah carries it across. Woodbury with the 6-on-4 advantage. A minute 14 and counting left to go in this one. Albright, he's got the lone goal for the Woodbury Royals. Poked away by Ronaldo. And he can't quite get momentum to go the other way. Stuckert now carries it in. Shot in on that Begley gloves, and he'll stop it.
Look like the two guys we just touched on, Sam. Ronaldo and Bremer, we're going to have a 2-on-1 or 2-on-0 there, but not able to get it past the defense. And Woodbury came back, fired it on, but Begley able to glove it and hang on to the rebound, which has obviously been key to Woodbury's success, putting that puck in the net.
That's right, and the Hustle brothers will take a seat as a couple guys come on. Rebound out in front, whiffed on by Albright. He would have had an empty net and a great look.
Well, they got the shot on and then a rebound, and Bagley made a monster save, and on the third rebound they just couldn't cut it, and Pioneers are going to ice it there. What a turn of events there, huh, Sam? Wow.
Seems like that's happened quite a bit to this Woodbury team here tonight, either having the power play and then giving up a goal right after they had the man advantage, or something like that. It's just completely whiffed on.
Well, Bagley came up huge as we take another look at the empty net goal here. Pioneers able to just skate it out. That's Reifenberger to put the icing on the cake, but man, oh man, what can you say about that save by Bagley on the rebound? And then the third rebound comes out and just hops the stick of the Woodbury offensive player, and instead of it being 4-3 with 35 seconds to go, it's 5-2, and Looks like that'll just about do it for the Woodbury Royals.
Yeah, unfortunately, there in the last one, Jared Markuson, kind of one of the leaders of this Woodbury Royals squad, whiffing on the puck, and it falls right to Marco Reifenberger, the leading scorer of Hill Murray. And he's not gonna miss a wide open shot.
No, you said it.
So.
You used his speed to beat the defense, and no one in net to beat. Not gonna miss that.
That about sums it up. Kind of a representation of the Woodbury season. A lot of great moments and a lot of moments they'd like to forget about. They're going to see this one all the way to the end, though. Choparov with a shot on net going wide to the right. That'll be sent down and around. No icing because of the penalty. And that'll do it. So the Hill Murray Pioneers defeat the Woodbury Royals 5-2 here at Aldrich Arena. They'll advance on to the Section 4 Class 2A final against Stillwater on Friday night. For Sam Erickson and Luke Howell, we want to thank you for watching this presentation of TV 19 Sports. We'll have an interview coming up here after the break. Welcome back to Aldrich Arena. You see the final score there, Hill Murray 5, Woodbury 2. They pick up the win here in the section semifinals. Our own Luke Howitt is down by the locker room with a couple of the victorious Hill Murray Pioneers. Luke?
Thanks, Sam. Here I am joined by senior defenseman Sean Ryan. And Sean, first period obviously a little slow going. We're down one after that first, but that second period, after a few minutes in, seems like you guys really got things going. What do you think changed between that first and second period?
Well, every game we try to get out there, get out strong, and get the puck deep. And I thought we handled them pretty well in the first period. We just, especially with the Moundsview game too, once we get one in, we kind of start getting our going, get our juices flowing, get our confidence up. And I think that's what kind of happened. We got one goal, and then they just kept on popping, and we kept moving the puck. I think we wore them down because they only roll 2 pairs of D. So I don't know. I thought it was just the hard work tonight really helped.
Well, it certainly showed. Obviously, you wore them down, and once you got that first goal, it seemed kind of like the floodgates opened, and you got 4 quick ones there. Take us through real quickly, if you could, that goal where you kind of fired it from the point. It was a real nice tip from Mills, and just overall a really nice play there.
Well, yeah, I think it was Austin who shot out to me at the point. I walked through the line, and there wasn't really anybody in front of the net, so I thought I'd try to look for Millsy. That's what we work on in practice, try to get a backdoor play or short side play, and man, miraculous tip. It was real nice and helped the lead. It felt good.
Yeah, it certainly did. That was a beautiful play. Now coming up on Friday, you got Stillwater. Obviously, you're familiar with them. You played them, over the last few years here in the section. So, what are you expecting Friday out of this Ponies team? You've seen them once already in the regular season.
Yeah, we're gonna see fast pace, like to get deep. They like to go out and grind, but they got a bunch of skill guys, and I think if we play strong defensively, if Beggs can come up big for us, and we play the team game that we've been playing, I think we just had to find ourselves as a team. If we keep playing it, I think we got a good chance at coming on top.
All right, well, that is senior defenseman Sean Ryan. Had a heck of a game tonight in the 5-2 victorious win. Sean, I want to thank you for your time and say good luck on Friday, okay? Yep. All right, we'll send it back up to Sam to wrap it up.
All right, thanks, Luke. And we want to thank Sean, of course. That final, once again, is 5-2, and we want to thank everybody for watching this presentation of high school hockey here on TV 19 Sports. Have a good night, everyone.